All right, good morning. It is October 1st today, which is opening day of bow season. I'm going to head out and hunt some public land, probably this morning, tonight, and then maybe tomorrow as well, depending on how today goes. There's a couple spots that I want to hit before the pressure hits this weekend. The spot that I'm going to plan on going to this morning, the wind's maybe a little iffy for it, so we'll see how it is once I get out there. But it's a kind of an island, which is very close to some buck bedding. And it seems like the bucks in the mornings, they come from like acorn ridges that aren't too terrible far away. And they work their way towards this island, and there's a scrape on this island. So they hit the scrape, and then they go in towards bedding. And it's very close to bedding. I'm going to be within 100 yards of the bedding. So the hope is that the deer don't get there until after daylight and in shooting hours when, obviously you can shoot them. It is about 60 degrees right now. They're saying there's going to be like a 2-mile-an-hour southwest wind today, and a cold front comes through later today. It was like 80, 82, something like that yesterday, and it's going to be barely 70 today. All in all, I'm just super excited to get out there and do my first sit with a bow in hand. Yeah, that's the plan for this morning, is first bow hunt for the year, October 1st, opening day, baby. Let's go see what we can't get into. All right, it is just about 6:30 and I am in and set up. Shooting light is, I think, 7:12 this morning. So I've got right around 45 minutes to sit here in the dark and just wait. So that's what I'm going to do. Listen to this owl back behind me. That's kind of cool. And just hang out. Opening day, baby. Hoping for good things. We'll see what happens. Alright, this is the October 1st evening hunt. I'm out on public land, and I am like 1.5 miles from my truck. I am way back in here. I am basically in a pinch point between some private land and a river off to my left. And up here on the public land, there's a creek bottom that's really thick, and there's all kinds of bedding in there. It is currently 5:12, so got a good long while until dark. I think it's right around 8 o'clock, so a good 3-hour sit tonight, and we'll see what happens. I'm not going to shoot a doe or anything like that tonight. It's going to be a big buck or bust for me, so fingers crossed a good one comes through. Alright, as you can tell, it's getting pretty dark here in the woods. There's still like 10 or 12 minutes of legal time, but I don't have any camera light left. Out in the open areas, it's definitely quite a bit lighter, but just with all the leaf cover and stuff, it's pretty dark in the woods, so I think I'm going to start wrapping everything up here because I got a long walk out of here. I'm probably going to head in the morning to the spot that I hunted this morning and just kind of hunt a different access trail to the bedding. The wind's going to be wrong for the spot that I hunted this morning, but I think I can make it work in a different spot. So currently that's the plan. It's supposed to be a lot colder tomorrow, like potentially even mid-40s for a low. So the deer should be moving tomorrow morning, I'd imagine. Felt good to see a buck today, but that was all I saw tonight. A little disappointing, but maybe tomorrow's the day. Well, tonight was going really good, but things have taken a sad turn. I found 2 deer that I believe are dead from EHD. One of them is right here, little buck, and it's literally right at the base of the tree I was planning on setting up in. And then I look 10 yards ahead, and someone else has a stand in a tree right there. I don't know when they set it or what, but I might have to scooch a little bit because I don't really want to set up directly over this dead deer and have to smell that all night, so I might scooch down and get upwind of it. But that is definitely a bummer. Alright, well, this has been an interesting one so far. I am in the area of a spot that is, at least throughout the summer, my best spot. I had a shooter buck, not always the same one, but shooter bucks coming through this spot like 2 or 3 times a week, which is about as consistent of action as I've ever found on public land. So I decided tonight was the night to come in and hunt it because the wind's right for it. And I was on my way in and smelled dead deer. My access is through a creek to get in here. And I stopped and looked and found it was a dead doe laying on the side of the creek. Probably an EHD kill. So I was a little bummed about that, but at least it wasn't one of my target deer. And I kept going. And I got to the spot where I get out of the creek, and my tree that I planned to hunt is right on the edge of that creek. So I pop out, and there's a dead buck laying right there. Fortunately, it was just a little buck, not one I would have shot anyways. But still sad to see, another deer dead from EHD. So I decided, then, to make matters worse, I looked just beyond it, and someone set up a tree stand, literally 10 yards from the tree that I had picked out to hunt. I have a camera in the tree that I was gonna hunt. It's way up in the tree, and I don't think they saw it. But anyways, I pushed probably 40 yards closer to the bedding and found a tree that'll just barely work to set up in, and that's where I am. So yeah, very mixed feelings so far tonight. I'm in, on paper, what should be my best spot, but A lot of bummers along the way too tonight, but hey, that's all part of it. It's a beautiful evening to be out in the woods, so I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy it and hopefully at least see some deer. If I see some deer tonight, I'll be happy. So that's the plan for tonight. We'll see what happens. Friday, October 4 today, and it's around 5 o'clock. Basically, I'm set up in a cedar tree, and I'm in basically a pinch point between two bedding areas. There's oaks all around me here, and I've been hearing acorns drop. You'll probably hear them in the background throughout this interview. My plan for tonight is to shoot a doe. I've got a little bit of ground meat, but that's it for venison left in my freezer, so I gotta fix that problem. With these acorns dropping as good as they are, I think there's gonna be at least a few deer in this area coming out of these nearby bedding sources, feeding on acorns. We'll see what happens. basically the base of my tree, and worked straight away for me, and like hardly gave me a shot opportunity. The one time that she did, the first time, there was a fawn directly behind her, which obviously I'm not going to do that. And the next time was, I heard a deer coming in from my right, so I stopped to look, and it was a smaller doe, not a fawn, but a smaller doe. And by the time I looked back, the big doe was broadside and walking out of my lane. They got into the thick cover before I could shoot, and that was that. I thought about trying to shoot that smaller doe, but she really never gave me a shot either. She did basically the same thing. I used to kill a lot of does out of this spot early season when there was corn in this field to my right, but it's been a long time since this field's been corn. It's more of a alfalfa rye mixture, and this year the whole kind of back half of the field is just kind of fallow, lots of weeds and stuff in it. But what this area has going for it is there's lots of oaks along this ridge. I sat in a stand that's maybe 100 yards back behind this one last night and had a nice group of does come through, and I really wanted to shoot one of them. I just couldn't get the right shot angle at them. They all ended up feeding off this way, so I figured I'd get in here in the morning and try to catch them on their way back through, because the wind's not good for the other spot. It's nice and cool this morning, but it will be up to about 70 today, so fingers crossed they come through eating the acorns. They were hammering them pretty hard last night, so I think there's a decent chance they come through this area, but time will tell. Alright, I think I'm out of the danger zone now, so I should probably explain what just happened. But basically, my stand is back in the corner over here. And back down behind it, I saw one of my target bucks. It was that 4-year-old with the dorky antler that I talked about. I call him Dagger. After that, I waited a while, and once I figured it was safe to get down, the wind was pretty breezy too, so I went ahead and snuck out to the edge of the field. And just when I got to the edge of a field, a decent 8-point, I was literally crossing the fence. I happened to look over and see this decent 8-point walking right at me, so I just hunkered down and got some footage with him, or of him, with my phone, and he ended up smelling my ground scent where I'd walked through and turned around and took off. He wasn't like super scared, but he definitely smelled me. But fingers crossed, the big buck, Dagger, doesn't know any of that, and he has no idea that I was ever there. So fingers crossed that's the case. I might go after him tonight, but we'll see. I do want to kill a doe, but just how often do you get a daylight sighting of a target buck in the morning in October? And I know he's bedded right there, and I've got a stand that's like right there, that depending on which way he goes, I might be in the game. So I don't know, I'll have to think about it a little bit midday, and either way, I'll let you guys know where I end up this afternoon.
Alright, it is Saturday, October 5 today, and I'm here in St. Joseph County, Michigan. I am doing something tonight that I don't usually do. I'm going after one of my target bucks. The wind switched a little bit this afternoon. It was more east this morning, and now it's more south. So I can't really sit that spot safely. So I came to this other side where the wind's a little bit safer for. And basically I'm at the tip of this valley, and there's oaks all around me. I've got some white oaks in front of me. There's red oaks, and they're all dropping acorns. My hope is tonight that that buck is still in that bedding area right up over there, and that he comes this way because there's more cover this way. There's white oaks this way, and then there's a lot of, in the bottom of this valley, like pokeweed and some other forbs that they like to eat. So I think there's more food choices for him this way, and I think there's going to be a pile of does in here too. So there should be more deer, and there should be more food this way, which hopefully makes him comfortable to come on out during daylight. But we're taking a crack at one of my target bucks tonight, so we'll see what happens. Wish me luck. Sunday, October 6th today. I am in a stand that I sat Friday night, and when I sat here Friday night, I had a pile of does come through, and I got to full draw on a nice one 3 different times. I just couldn't get the shot angle I was looking for on her. I'm headed home after the hunt this morning, and I'm just about out of venison in my freezer, so I would shoot a doe. And obviously if a nice buck came through, I would shoot it too, but my target is a doe this morning. Overall, pretty decent weekend. I wish I could have got a shot at that doe Friday night. It was cool to see one of my target bucks. I didn't expect that this weekend. I don't know what my hunting plans are for this next week. This upcoming Saturday, I have a wedding I have to go to. So I don't know how much hunting I'll be able to do, at least on private land. But I'm sure I'll get out onto public land at least a time or two. I haven't really looked at the weather yet either. I don't know what days I should go. I